just before we dive into this review, I recorded this quite a few weeks in advance of it going live. Since recording it, I've changed the way I do reviews a little bit on this channel. So I'm going to kick things off with the synopsis, and then after that it dives into the review proper. Oh, and there's a couple of points in the review where the sound goes a bit hinky, but that's fine, I'm just waffling in those bits, you're not missing anything. Enjoy! The Iron Keys. A tale of Amanska. The marshes of Efjar have never been conquered. The scholars say it's the inhospitable terrain, the maze-like bogs, or insects the size of a fist. But any warrior who's ever trod these lands knows the true danger. The Minotaur clans that call them home. Twice the height of a human, and fond of raw flesh, the Efjar Minotaurs have repelled the Arca armies time and time again. It now falls to the Iron Keys, a famed regiment of the finest soldiers and mages, to put an end to the war. And for fresh recruit Thardan the Written, it is his first glimpse of the terrors of Efjar. Death awaits all who enter the marshes. Hello, I always thought so yeah, this is going to be the first review I've recorded since I started doing live streams and putting stuff on the YouTube channel and on the Twitch channel. But it's probably not going to be the first review that you see. The reason for this is over the summer I think it's going to be difficult for me to do as many live streams as I want. So I'm recording some reviews in advance and I'll release them throughout the summer. That's the plan. It does mean that if you put anything in the chat, I won't see it, or at least I won't respond to it in the video. I may be watching along with you, because I'm weird. But yeah, if you do post a question in the chat, either on YouTube or on Twitch, I will try and answer, like in a comment, or in a future video, or on Twitter, or whatever. So yeah, that's that. So this is my first review for the Indie Fantasy Addict Summer Challenge. For those of you that don't know what that is, the Indie Fantasy Addicts is a Facebook group on Facebook, funnily enough. And over the summer, they're doing a challenge where you try and read as much indie fantasy as you can, which is brilliant because everybody wins. You get to read some great books and indie authors get a bit of exposure, which is always awesome. So today you may have noticed, but I'm pointing the wrong way. Today you may have noticed. Today, you may have noticed what I'm going to be talking about. This is The Iron Keys by Ben Galley. If you see me keep looking at something either to the side of the screen or below the screen, it's because I'm looking at the notes of my phone because I can't remember anything. And I didn't want this just to be me waffling for 20 minutes. So, I have a plan. Let me just get my little banners ready. So, we'll go. The more I do of these, I hope the smoother it will get. But I'm not convinced. I think it's just always going to be chaotic, which is fun. So, The Iron Keys by Ben Galley. What's it about? She says as she tries to open the phone that's just locked itself. It's going well. So yes, The Iron Keys is a short story that's set in Ben Galley's, well, set just before Ben Galley's Amanska series. I'm not sure if I'm saying Amanska right. If you know, please let me know. It tells the story of Thardan, who is a written mage. And if you've read any of Ben's other books set in this world, you'll know who Thardan is, and he is awesome. So I'm sure you're going to love this story if you love those books. Anyway, it tells his story and his role in the Efjar skirmishes. Now, can I just say, Ben, Mr. Galli, why do you keep naming things with words I can't say? To be fair, I can't say any words. So. Oh well. Anyway, the story is quite short, so I'm not going to go too much into the plot because I don't want to give anything away. So what can I say? What went down, basically? There is a battle. Farden joins this legion called the Iron Keys, which is where the title comes from. And yeah, he goes to battle, and through his actions, some of his legion lose their lives. And the story after that is basically how he deals with that and what happens next. So, serious stuff. This isn't a comedy. Move on to my next banner. Seamless transitions there, can you see? So, what I liked, first of all, there were Minotaurs. I love a creature or a fantasy people, and yeah, I feel like Minotaurs aren't used anywhere near enough. So to have them feature so heavily in the story was brilliant. I will say that there are Minotaurs in Ben Galley's later Emanska books. I can't remember, were they in the other ones as well? It's been a while since I read them, but they're definitely in the later ones. But this is very Minotaur heavy, and I tell you what, Minotaurs are gnarly. They're so good. They fight how you would expect Minotaurs to fight. They are huge, like beasts full of muscle, and yeah, they're brutal. Absolutely brutal. Brilliant to read about. I want more Minotaurs. I would read a Manska book where the main character was a Minotaur. Maybe there is a short story where the main character is a Minotaur. Ben, write that story. I need to read it. Yes. So I like the Minotaurs. We've got that. I also liked the magic system that Ben has in these books. So Farden is a mage, and he has like runes written or carved, tattooed into his back, and it's through these runes that he's able to do his magic, and his magic is more powerful than other mages' magic. I'm explaining this terribly, but please go and check out the books because it makes more sense when Ben Galley explains it. Funny that. The other thing I really liked is Ben Galley's writing style. I've read a number of his books now, both in the Emanska series and other stuff that he's written. He had kind of a fantasy western series, and the title of the series has just gone out my head. That's so annoying. But it was really, really good. That's rubbish, isn't it? Oh, this book I read, it was really good, but I can't remember what it's called. But it was the kind of thing that you could imagine a Netflix series being made out of. It was just perfect. And Ben Galley's writing style is accessible but detailed, and the world is very rich. It's the Emanska series is like Norse inspired, and you can really feel that in the place names and the character names, and yeah, it all just really pulls together really nicely. And Ben Galley writes in such a way that you can't help but be drawn in and be drawn to these characters, even if a lot of the time they're not always good. It's like in this story, Farden makes some poor choices. Hope that's not spoilery, but he does. He does things that he probably shouldn't do. But we still keep reading because we care about Farden. Farden is our friend. I just realised I don't have a banner for the next section. I'm going to put that in now. Look at us being very professional. I know I could edit this out because it isn't live, but I feel like it would lose the charm then, wouldn't it? She says. So, there's that banner that was there all along saying favourite character. There aren't too many in this, it's only a short story, and although he is in a legion of the Iron Keys, we don't get to meet a lot of them by name. So in the story, obviously, Farden was my favourite. This is young Farden, so before the events in any of the other books, and we learn that he is just as rebellious, hard to love, hard to live with, as he is in the other books. So this rebellious streak starts young for Farden. He's absolutely badass. And I know when I say badass in my English accent, it sounds wrong, but I can't say badass, can I? Come on. There is a line in the book that really just made me think, oh yes, something's about to go down. When he's commanding officer, whose name has just gone out my head, and I didn't write it down because I thought I would remember it, idiot. But he says that Farden is a mage who knows when to step over the line. As soon as I read that, I thought, yeah, stuff's gonna happen. Stuff's gonna happen. And it did, but I won't tell you exactly what. Yes, Farden was my favourite character in this. But he's not my favourite character in the whole Lemanska series. And it brings us on to what I didn't really like about this story. And the only thing I can think of is that there was no Durnus in this story. He was mentioned very, very briefly, but we don't see him. We don't hear from him. We don't know how he's doing. Yeah, Durnus is my favourite character, and he wasn't there, and I was sad he wasn't there. But I don't actually know how he then would have crammed him in there. I don't know how that would have worked. And it's not Durnus' story, so I think I can forgive that minor issue. Now I'm going to go very Jerry Springer, and my final thoughts. If you hadn't guessed, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. If you haven't read any of the Lemanska series, this is a really good place to start. It's short, sweet, gives a really good flavour of the world, and it gives you an introduction into Ben Galley's writing style. So you're going to know straight away if you like his writing voice, and I'm sure you will because it's awesome. Yes, I think I've summed everything up quite quickly. I'm just checking the notes on my phone to make sure I've said anything. Just realised that it says next to Minotaurs in capital letters, gnarly. I think I said gnarly. If I didn't, Minotaurs are gnarly. So yes, thank you for checking out this review. On Goodreads, I do a star rating, just because it's easy, but I'm not going to do them in these video reviews, because from one review to another, I find that my star ratings change. So I could have a book that I really love, but I only award it 4 stars because it's not absolutely perfect. And then I can read another book of the same quality with the same issues and award it 5 stars the next week. And it's just not fair. The ratings don't make any sense. They're arbitrary numbers, and yeah. So I'm not doing them. I refuse to do them now. I might even stop doing them on Goodreads, but I know that it helps authors on Goodreads to have the stars there. I'm torn, really. Do I just give everything 4 or 5 stars? But yes, as you can tell by my happy little face, I like this book a lot. I like all of Ben Galley's work, so absolutely go ahead, check them out. Check this out because it's nice and quick. It's cheap. I think you can pick this one up on Kindle for a couple of quid, but I've got a feeling you can still grab it by going to Ben Galley's website and signing up for his mailing list. That's how I got it originally. I don't know if that's still the case, but yes, I think it's worth having a look in his website. I think it's bengalley.com. Have a look on there, see if you can get it or whatever. Yeah, I'm sure if you sign up to his mailing list, there's some kind of freebie. There usually is. It's worth doing. So yes, I'm going to leave that there. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Hopefully you're now itching to read the Iron Keys. I'll leave a little question for you. What is your favourite fantasy monster / people? We've mentioned Minotaurs in this video. Who are your favourites? Do you prefer goblins? Are you an elf person? Mermaids? Sirens? Are sirens and mermaids a similar thing? Who knows? Yeah, but tell me your favourites in the comments or in the chat or wherever it is this is going. Or on Twitter. All of my social links are up here. I'm Lou Yardley everywhere apart from on Instagram because someone else was Lou Yardley, and on there I'm Lou Yardley author. So yeah, it'd be good to hear from you. I'm hoping to do another one of these reviews very soon. Until next time, stay delicious. Oh, by the way, context. If you're just watching this for reviews and you've never seen anything else I do, that voice was a goblin voice for one of my characters in my books. That's Pigby. He features in a book called Creep and in a book called The Blade of Absolution, which I'm currently working on. If you'd like to read Creep, it's available for free from my I'll get the hang of this soon, from my Ko-fi shop. Just head there, click on the shop thing, and yeah, scroll down. It's there somewhere along with lots of other stuff, but you can grab it for free until the 21st of September, which is when this Indie Fantasy Addicts Summer Challenge ends. So yeah, if you want a bit of free fantasy, free dark fantasy, go ahead, grab that, give it a read. Yes, I'm definitely done now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and happy reading.